Hey, what's up everybody? It's Flux with Fluxwithit.com, and today we're going to check out the Threeler VCF by Ian Fritz. This one's presented by Synthcube, and you've got this gorgeous panel here with big chunky knobs on it. So let's go ahead and check out what the Threeler VCF is all about. The important thing to note about the Threeler VCF is that it's a third order filter, and basically, as far as I can kind of suss out of this thing, is essentially it's like having a one-pole filter and then another two-pole filter kind of combined. And what's cool about the Threeler is you can kind of reorder the direction that those filters are filtering and how they're going about processing the audio. And depending on the order that you put them in, you get different characteristics out of the sound. So to check it out, up top here, we have our big tune knob here. This is your frequency cutoff. Okay, then to the left here we've got our FM and our resonance, and then we have attenuators for each one of those with, of course, CV inputs on there. We've got our input jack down here to the bottom left with our input gain, and then we have our selector knob for the modes and 3 outputs. So what this filter will allow us to do is we can select between high pass, low pass, or band pass, and then we've got lots of different versions of that style filter in here. So when the mode is up top here, we're all low pass. So we've got our 18 dB, our 12 dB, and 6 dB. Then you scroll down one, and we've got a 12 dB low pass with 6 dB high pass band pass filter here. Then in the middle, we've got 6 dB positive and negative, and then we have 6 dB low pass. Scrolling down again, we've got 12 dB high pass with a 6 dB low pass, 6 dB high and low pass, and then you have your 6 dB high pass filter. And then again, 6 dB high pass, 12 dB high pass, 18 dB high pass. Now, what's cool about this is that you might look at this and say, oh, well, this 6 dB bandpass here and this 6 dB bandpass here, you know, what's the difference? You know, who cares? That's just, you're just being redundant. Not really. They sound completely different, and we're going to go ahead and demonstrate that first. So what I'm going to do now is I just have a very simple patch. It's just a saw wave going into the Threeler, and on the oscilloscope, you'll see on the top is the unaffected saw wave, and on the bottom is our affected saw wave. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to bring the sound in. Okay, so now we've got the saw waves going here, and what I'm going to do is, this is the 18 dB low pass filter, and if I sweep that, you hear that we get a very nice smooth response out of it. Another nice aspect of this is we have a ton of gain on the input here. Now if I bring the input way down a bit, I'm going to take it to about 12 o'clock, and then I start bringing the resonance up. You can see how much gain we get out of that with that resonance. Let's bring this resonance down a bit, and I'm going to sweep it. Now, something to note about this, the resonance on this filter is insane. It will start to self-oscillate extremely early. So if we take this thing up just a bit more, we'll start self-oscillating pretty darn quick. Let's take the cutoff back a bit and check this out. I'll sweep it down. I mean, it really, and I can take the input all the way out now and check this out. So you'll get self-oscillation up here. Now if I bring it down a bit and then I pump that resonance up, again, on this filter, we do have volt per octave input on here, and there's a little trimmer right here so you can do your calibration. It doesn't take much calibration to get this thing rocking, and you can use it as a great sine wave oscillator. And of course, that resonance is so powerful that you can actually get these kind of like clipped out squarish waves and overdriven saw waves out of it, or sine waves out of it as well. So again, let's get back to this bandpass here. I want you to check this out here. Bring the input back. Now again, right now I am 6 dB bandpass. Pretty typical, nice sound. Here's the other 6 dB. That sounds good, but when we start bringing the resonance in, that's when the characteristics of these things really change. I'm gonna bring up just a bit of resonance here. Now let's go down here. So let's go ahead and send it a little LFO from the morphing terrarium. And we'll let that control our FM input. This way we get an even response out of it as I'm switching between the modes. Now let's pump up the resonance just a bit. I think that's a perfect point for us to go ahead and switch between modes here. You can really hear the difference in that resonance. And I'll speed it up a bit. And if we go over to the volt per octave input. Pretty drastically different sound there. And of course we can go into our band pass up here, which is the 6 dB slope, 6 dB high pass, 12 dB low pass. And now 12 dB high pass, 6 dB low pass. So again, you get a really nice range, and now we're going all high pass. And of course, if I go to the single pole. This filter's got a really great frequency response on it, really wide range. Okay, so let's do some other patch examples, like sending some analog drums through the Threeler, and check that out. Alright, so here I have just a simple drum pattern running from a Korg Volca Beats, and I'm sending it into the Threeler VCF. I'm choosing this source because pretty much everybody knows what a Volca Beats sound like. I have the modified snare on here, so the snare is a little bit more beefy, but it's you know, just a simple drum pattern. And let's just listen to how the frequency response of the Threeler reacts to these analog drums on it. Now we do have a lot of input gain to play with. We can kind of overdrive the sound if we want, or we can back it off, make it a little bit more sweet. And let's bring some resonance up. Very smooth. Let's go to the 12 dB low pass. And the 6 dB low pass. And of course, I'm a sucker for band passing these kinds of things. Give it some resonance. And of course, we can come down here. And then high pass. Now let's send that LFO from the morphing terrarium back. And I'll switch between some modes. And again, we can also modulate the resonance amount. And of course, it's also really fun to take something like your resonance and have it modulated by the drums themselves. And we could do the same with the frequency cutoff. And let's do that by envelope following from a maths. So overall, the Threeler is a voltage controlled filter that really lets you get a wide range of filtering out of just one module here. So you might look at it and say, oh, it's a little bit bigger than some of the other eurorack filters that are out there. But if you look at everything that this thing can do and what it can do all at once, you'll start to realize that it's actually not bulky, as far as size is concerned, for all the features that you get out of this thing. I mean, the different modes in here, just everything that you can do with this filter, and the fact that it sounds so amazing makes it worth every little bit of HP that's in your rack. So I highly recommend checking out the Threeler VCF by Ian Fritz and Synthcube here. So check it out. Peace.